What if I told you that the way you started this year in your home could change everything about how you feel every single day? Not through big changes or expensive things, not by buying new furniture or repainting walls, but through something much simpler, something quieter. I've learned over many years that a peaceful home doesn't come from doing more. It comes from letting go of what weighs us down without us even noticing. Those invisible habits we keep doing because we think we should. Those small things that take our energy but give us nothing back. When this year began, I decided to change a few things, not the usual things everyone talks about, not the obvious cleaning tasks or the decorating tips. I changed the way I thought about my home, the way I moved through my space, the way I allowed things to stay or asked them to leave. And something shifted. The air felt lighter. My mind felt clearer. I started sleeping better. I stopped feeling tired just from being in my own house. If you stay with me until the end of this video, I'll share what I changed and why it made such a difference. These are simple shifts, gentle choices, but they've brought me more peace than years of trying to keep everything perfect ever did. Let me show you what I mean. Tip 1. I stopped keeping things I might need. Someday for years, I kept so many things just in case. A box of buttons from old clothes, extra plastic containers without lids, old towels that weren't soft anymore but might be useful for something someday. Every time I opened a drawer or a cabinet, I saw all these things, and even though I didn't think about them, they were there, taking up space, making it harder to find what I actually used. When the year started, I made a promise to myself. If I haven't used something in a full year and I don't truly love it, it has to go. Not hidden in another box. Not moved to another closet. It has to leave my home. I started small, one drawer at a time. I took out everything I was keeping for someday. And I asked myself honestly, will that someday ever really come? Most of the time, the answer was no. So I let those things go. I donated what was still good. I threw away what wasn't. And you know what happened? The drawers became easier to open. I could find things without digging. My mind felt less crowded, even though nothing had changed in the rooms themselves. When you stop filling your home with things you might need someday, you make space for the life you're living right now. Not the life you imagine, not the emergencies that probably won't happen. The real life happening today. That's where peace lives. In what's real, not in what's possible. Tip 2, I stopped buying things just because they were on sale. I used to think I was being smart when I bought things on sale. Extra soap because it was half price. Another set of dish towels because they were so cheap. A candle I didn't need but couldn't resist. And all those smart purchases piled up. Under the sink, in the back of cabinets, on shelves I could barely reach. I wasn't saving money. I was filling my home with things I didn't actually want. Things that made my space feel heavier. Things I had to organize, move around, clean, and eventually throw away when they expired or broke. This year, I stopped. I made a new rule for myself. I only buy what I need when I need it, even if it's on sale, even if it feels like I'm missing out on a good deal. Because here's what I've learned. The best deal isn't the lowest price. The best deal is not bringing something into your home that you'll have to manage later. Every single thing you own asks something from you. It asks for space. It asks to be stored. It asks to be cleaned. It asks to be remembered. When you only bring home what you truly need, your home stops asking so much from you. You stop spending your weekends organizing things you never wanted in the first place. Now, when I walk into my storage closet, I see what I use, not what I thought was a bargain. And that simple change has saved me so much time, so much space, and so much mental energy. You don't need more things. You need less weight. Tip 3, I let go of furniture that was just taking up space. There was a chair in my bedroom corner. I'd had it for years. It came from someone I loved. It was pretty enough, but I never sat in it. Instead, it became a place where clothes landed, clean clothes waiting to be put away. Jackets that didn't belong anywhere else, a bag I'd set down and forget about. That chair made me feel guilty every time I looked at it. guilty for not using it, guilty for piling things on it, guilty for not being the kind of person who keeps a tidy chair in the corner. When the year began, I moved it out. I didn't replace it with anything. I just let that corner be empty, and something beautiful happened. That corner became easy. I didn't have to think about it anymore. Clothes went straight to the closet because there was nowhere else to put them. The room felt bigger. The air moved better. We keep furniture sometimes because we think we should, because it was expensive once, because someone gave it to us, because empty space feels wrong. But empty space isn't wrong. Empty space is rest. It's room to breathe. It's one less thing to work around every single day. Look around your home. Is there a piece of furniture you walk past but never use? A table that just holds mail, a chair that just holds things. You don't have to keep it, you can let it go. And when you do, you'll feel lighter, I promise. If this is making sense to you, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? I love knowing that these ideas are reaching people in different places, all trying to make their homes feel like home again. Your comment helps this community grow. Tip 4. I stopped apologizing for my home. I used to do this thing whenever someone came over. I'd apologize. Oh, excuse the mess. Sorry, I didn't have time to clean. I know it's not perfect. Even when my home looked fine, even when there was barely anything out of place, I'd still say sorry just in case they noticed something I'd missed. This year, I stopped. Because here's the truth. Your home is not a showroom. It's not a magazine. It's the place where you live, where you rest, where you heal from the world outside. If there are dishes in the sink because you chose to rest instead, that's okay. If there's a blanket on the couch because you were cold this morning, that's okay. If things aren't perfect, that's okay. You don't owe anyone a perfect home, not your guests, not your family, not even yourself. When I stopped apologizing, something changed. I stopped seeing my home through imaginary eyes. I stopped judging every surface, every corner, every little thing that wasn't just right. I started seeing my home the way it actually was. Lived in, warm, real. And the funny thing is, once I stopped apologizing, other people stopped noticing what I thought they'd see, because they never cared as much as I imagined. They just wanted to be welcome, and a welcoming home has nothing to do with perfection. Let your home be lived in. Let it show that a real person lives there, someone with a real life, someone who is doing their best. That's enough. You're enough. Tip 5. I started leaving spaces empty on purpose. I used to think every surface needed something on it. A plant on the table, a basket on the shelf, a candle on the counter, decorations that made things feel finished. But all those little things added up. They needed dusting, they needed straightening, they needed attention I didn't always want to give. So I started leaving spaces empty. Not by accident, on purpose. I cleared off my kitchen counter, except for the things I use every single day. I emptied a shelf in my living room completely. I left the top of my dresser almost bare. And those empty spaces became my favorite places to look. They felt calm. They felt like I could breathe. Empty doesn't mean cold. Empty doesn't mean you don't care. Empty means you've chosen peace over decoration. Rest over things to manage. When a surface is empty, it's easy to wipe, easy to keep clean, easy to ignore when you're tired. Start small. Choose one surface in your home. A countertop, a shelf, the top of a table. Clear it completely except for 1 or 2 things you truly love or truly use. Then just look at it for a few days. Notice how it makes you feel. Notice how much easier it is to keep that one spot peaceful. You might find, like I did, that empty space is the most beautiful decoration of all. Tip 6. I stopped saving things for special occasions. I had nice dishes I never used, candles I was saving for the right moment. A soft blanket I kept folded because it was too nice for every day. I was saving these things for special days, for guests, for celebrations, for times that felt important enough. But those days came and went and I still didn't use them because no day ever felt special enough. There was always a reason to wait, to save them a little longer. This year, I stopped waiting. I started using the nice dishes for dinner on a Tuesday. I lit the candles just because it was evening. I wrapped myself in the soft blanket while reading, and something shifted. My regular days started feeling special. Not because anything big happened, but because I was treating myself like I mattered, like my ordinary life was worth the nice things. You don't have to wait for permission to enjoy what you have. You don't need a special occasion to use the things that bring you comfort. Every day you wake up is the special occasion. Every quiet evening, every morning with tea. Every moment you're here is worth the good things. Stop saving, start living, use what you have. Enjoy what you own. Let your home feel like it's meant for you, not for some future version of life that may never come. The special occasion is now. It's today. It's this life you're living. Tip 7. I let natural light do the decorating. I used to think my home needed more pictures on the walls, more colors, more things that made it feel decorated and complete. But the more I added, the more cluttered it felt. Not physically messy, just visually busy. My eyes didn't know where to rest. Then I started paying attention to the light, the way it came through the windows in the morning, the way it moved across the walls in the afternoon, the way it made everything look softer in the evening. And I realized the light was already decorating my home. I just had too many things blocking it. So I moved furniture away from windows. I took down heavy curtains and replaced them with something simple that let the light through. I stopped putting things on the windowsills. Now the light moves through my home freely. It changes the way everything looks all day long. It's like having new decorations every hour without buying anything or adding anything at all. Natural light makes small spaces feel bigger. It makes colors look prettier. It helps plants grow. It lifts your mood in ways you don't even notice until it's gone. If your home feels dark or heavy, don't rush to buy new lamps or decorations. First, let in the light you already have. Move what's blocking it. Clear the path. Light is free. Light is beautiful. Light is the best thing you can give to any room. Tip 8. I stopped keeping things out of guilt. There were things in my home I didn't like. Things that made me feel bad every time I saw them. But I kept them anyway. A gift from someone I cared about, something I spent money on and felt I should use. Things from the past I thought I had to keep to prove I remembered. Every time I looked at these things, I felt heavy. Guilty for not using them, guilty for not loving them, guilty for wanting them gone. This year, I gave myself permission to let go, even if it was a gift, even if it cost money once, even if it came from someone I loved, because keeping something out of guilt doesn't honor the person who gave it to you. It just fills your home with weight, with sadness, with things that remind you of obligation instead of love. I thanked the objects for what they meant when I first got them. I remembered the kindness behind them, and then I let them go. Some I donated, some I gave to people who would actually use them, some I simply threw away because they were too worn or broken to pass on. And my home started feeling like mine again. Not a museum of guilt, not a storage room for other people's expectations, just my space, my peace, my life. You're allowed to let go of things that don't serve you anymore. Even meaningful things, even expensive things, even things that once mattered. What matters now is how you feel in your home today. Not how you felt 5 years ago, not how someone else thinks you should feel. Let go of the guilt. Keep what you love. Release the rest. Tip 9. I made my bedroom a place only for rest. For a long time, my bedroom was everything. It was where I worked sometimes, where I watched shows on my tablet, where I folded laundry and left it in piles, where I scrolled through my phone late into the night. My bedroom was busy, and because it was busy, I never rested well there, so I changed it. I made a simple rule. My bedroom is only for sleep and rest, nothing else. I moved the laundry folding to another room. I stopped bringing my phone to bed. I cleared off the surfaces so there was nothing to look at except calm, simple things. At first it felt strange, like the room was too empty, too quiet. But after a few nights, my body started to understand. When I walked into that room, it knew. It's time to rest now. It's time to let go of the day. I started sleeping better, falling asleep faster, waking up feeling more rested, even on nights when I didn't sleep that long. Because my bedroom wasn't asking anything from me anymore. It wasn't reminding me of tasks I hadn't finished. It wasn't showing me things I needed to do tomorrow. It was just a place to rest, and that made all the difference. If your bedroom feels stressful, look around. What's in there that isn't about rest? What's reminding you of work or chores or things you need to fix? You don't have to keep those things there. You can make your bedroom a place that only whispers one thing to you. Rest now. You're safe here. Let everything else wait until morning. Tip 10. I stopped trying to make every corner look like I saw online. I used to spend so much time looking at pictures of beautiful homes. Clean counters, perfectly styled shelves, everything matching, everything just so. And then I'd look at my own home and feel disappointed, like I was doing something wrong, like I wasn't trying hard enough to make it look like those pictures. But here's what I finally understood. Those pictures aren't real life. They're moments. They're styled. They're edited. They don't show the mess that was cleaned up 5 minutes before the photo. They don't show the real person who lives there, with real needs and real tiredness and real life happening. Your home doesn't need to look like a picture. It needs to work for you. It needs to feel good to you. It needs to make your life easier, not harder. So I stopped trying to copy what I saw. I stopped buying things just because they looked good in someone else's house. I stopped arranging things to look pretty instead of to work well, and my home became more honest, more useful, more like a place where I actually live instead of a place I'm trying to perform in. Some corners of my home are plain. Some shelves hold things that don't match. Some spaces are just functional, not beautiful. And that's okay, because they're mine, they're real. They're helping me live my life the way I need to live it. Stop comparing your home to pictures. Stop feeling like you're not doing enough. Your home is doing exactly what it needs to do. It's holding you. It's sheltering you. It's giving you a place to exist. That's already everything. These 10 changes didn't cost me money. They didn't take much time, but they changed how I feel every single day. Because a peaceful home isn't about doing more. It's about releasing what doesn't serve you anymore. It's about making space for rest, for breath, for life as it actually is, not as you think it should be. If you're starting this year feeling tired, feeling overwhelmed by your own space, I want you to know something. It's not too late. You can change one small thing today. You don't have to change everything. You don't have to be perfect. Just choose one idea that spoke to you, one tip that felt possible, and try it. Quietly, gently, at your own pace. Which of these changes feels like it might help you? Is there something you've been holding on to out of guilt or habit or fear of letting go? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about. And if this video helped you see your home in a new way, please subscribe and turn on notifications. There's so much more I want to share with you about living with less weight and more peace. Before we finish, let me share something with you. If you want to keep your home truly clean, organized, and pleasant without effort or excess, I've prepared a complete guide with simple recipes, a gentle weekly routine, and methods that help everything feel lighter. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now, take what spoke to your heart today and try it calmly at your own pace. Your home is already enough, and so are you.